Hey y'all, it's Nick back with another diary entry in the Diaries of a Real Estate Agent. Hope y'all are doing well, enjoying the spring. I certainly have been. This last week in the Vancouver, Washington area has been absolutely beautiful. We've had weather in the upper 70s, low 80s, sunny skies. It has just been perfect. And having all of the visibility, being able to see all of the mountaintops around, it's just the Pacific Northwest at its finest. And it makes both me and probably everybody else just so happy to finally be getting all of the vitamin D that we lacked all winter long. It's great. Loving it. Thank you for all of you that have followed along here and have engaged with the channel. This has been a really sweet way to engage with you and to be able to share about what I'm seeing in the real estate market, as well as what it's looking like to build and grow real estate business, the Tartan team. And lately, things in the Clark County market have just been insane, like unpredictably insane. And here's what I mean by that. I have seen some beautiful listings that are really well marketed, that they hit the open market and you're expecting to have packed open houses and offers right away, and there's just crickets. There's absolutely nothing. And then on the same weekend, though, you'll have another home in a different spot of Clark County where it hits the market and the open houses they're completely slammed and you get multiple offers. I've heard of some houses in Camas that have gone for $75,000, $80,000 over the list price with all contingencies waived, 7 or 8 offers in. Just bonkers, back to like COVID pandemonium of house buying frenzy. And so it's really the extremes. It kind of feels like this all or nothing with listings, and there doesn't seem to be too much of a rhyme or reason other than, of course, location, location, location. Things in Camas seem to be flying compared to a lot of other spots in the Pacific Northwest or in Clark County in particular. And then, of course, there's pricing. And this is definitely a time where, as a seller, the way that you price your house matters a ton, because if a house is perceived to be overpriced, well, in this market where interest rates are already high and affordability is already tough, then buyers are going to write it off, it seems like, immediately. But if you price your house competitively, even a little bit below market value, then potential buyers immediately see that as a deal and they want to jump on it. And oftentimes that's where we're seeing the multiple offers that drive that price up even higher than what you might have originally thought you wanted to get for the home. I know it can be counterintuitive, but the advice that I'm constantly giving to those who are listing their homes is to list at or just a little bit below fair market value, because right now every single buyer is looking for a deal. And when your listing pops up, they want to see that, hey, this looks like a good deal. They don't want to see what looks like an overpriced home in an already expensive market. So keep that in mind for sure. But the good news is that we're not seeing house prices fall. There still seems to be, in Clark County, it doesn't seem, it is objectively true that there are more interested buyers than there are listings available. And so that supply-demand dynamic is keeping house prices stable. And, fortunately, we got a little bit of relief in interest rates this past week as well. We finally saw interest rates dip down into the 6% range for the first time in, a couple of months. Now, will it stay that way? It's so hard to say. My crystal ball has been broken for about the past 3 years. And so it's kind of a fool's errand anymore to try and guess what's going to happen with interest rates. It seems like myself or any other expert that tries to tell you what's going to happen with rates inevitably ends up being wrong. And so, in case there's some sort of reverse psychology thing happening, I'm just going to say that interest rates are probably going to be and remain high, and hope that if I'm going to be wrong in any way, it's that in predicting that interest rates stay high and be pleasantly surprised that they drop. But I do think realistically, if you've been holding out for rates to drop back down into the 5% range, I just don't see that happening this year. And of any expert that I've listened to, I haven't heard them saying that that's realistic at this point anymore with inflation numbers and job numbers and all of the things that the Fed makes their decisions about whether or not to cut rates based upon staying as stable as they have. Again, hopefully reverse psychology by me saying that rates won't drop down into the fives this year. I would be gladly proved wrong in that. But I also want to caution your optimism if that's what you're holding out for. If you got questions about interest rates, about listing, about what the market looks like in your particular area, well, of course, I'm here to talk about all of that. But kind of transitioning now into talking about what it's looked like to build the Tartan team. My goodness, building a business is great. I say that, it's great, but it's tough. And there's a lot of moving pieces and a lot of parts, and especially with real estate is such a reactive business. And so there are a million and one things that I would love to do proactively to grow the business and build the Tartan team brand. But given the reactive nature of real estate, my clients, new and existing clients, always get the priority. And so when I have proactive tasks that I have wanted to accomplish and then get a call from a client, well, I'm always going to push the proactive things in order to be responsive to my client, meet them where they're at. An example of this is that, I've tried to carve out a lot of time on Mondays for making videos and content and sharing updates and giving insights on the Clark County area. But like on Sunday night, I got a call from a brand new client and they're looking to buy and potentially sell a home. They've got their eyes on a particular property and, they asked, can we go see it on Monday afternoon? And the answer for me is, of course, yes, I want to take care of you. And definitely, if you got your eyes on potentially your dream home, let's not waste any time getting you in there to see it. And so we did that. That was awesome. Went back for a second showing the next day. They totally love it, decide that they want to put in an offer on it. So we wrote that up and we're waiting to hear back right now as to whether or not that offer gets accepted. I've got a good feeling about it. But the overall point here just being that the reactive nature of real estate as a business does make it hard to get ahead in proactive kinds of tasks. And so it is good, obviously, for me to be able to sit down and record this little diary entry and just reflect and share about how things are going. That clearly speaks to all right, I finally have had a moment to take a breath, to do some of the proactive things that I've been meaning to, intending to do. So it's not all reactive, but definitely feels like I gotta be real intentional with my time. And speaking of intentionality of time, it's funny, the idea of so many people get into real estate thinking it's because they want to be their own boss and have control over their schedule. And there's some degree to which that's true. Like if I'm going to take time off, I don't have PTO, there's no boss that I need to ask about whether or not I can take a vacation. But on the other hand, it's like I have a lot of bosses. Like I work for all of my clients. This is a service business. And so I am here to make sure that they are well represented, well taken care of, make sure that I'm really responsive and clear in communications. And the constant sort of balance or tension that I'm feeling in that is, all right, how do I be fully available to my clients to take care of all of their needs while also being careful to guard my own time and make sure that I've got enough margin so that I'm not just running myself ragged. And I think that that's a perpetual problem that business owners face. As I've talked with more seasoned realtors and business owners, it's something that they've shared as a common experience, and they've also given me a lot of counsel about making sure that I am carving out time where I put my phone on silent, put it away, and I really engage to be present with my family, because even more important than my job as a real estate agent and leader of the Tartan team is my job as a husband and a father. My wife and I just celebrated 13 years of marriage at the beginning of May. Super thrilled about that love my wife, so grateful for the relationship that her and I enjoy, and so proud of our 3 kids. And just with the counsel that I've been given from other business owners and people that have gone ahead of me is just to say, hey, don't neglect your family, don't neglect your relationship with your wife, and also don't forget how special and precious these years with your kids are. My kids' ages are 9, 8, and 5, and so these are like the money years where to some degree dad can do no wrong. Now my daughter and her rolling of the eyes already will tell you contrary, that dad can indeed do wrong, but there really is a sweetness in the relationships with the kids, and I just feel that this is a unique time and I really want to be present and available for it. And so, yeah, just trying to balance simultaneously building a successful real estate business while also being successful as a husband and father. It feels like those two things can be held in tension. Fortunately, I don't feel like they're competing with one another, and certainly my success in real estate does take a lot of stress and pressure off of our family when it comes to just different financial goals and where we want to be in life. So I guess that's a little bit of a peek behind the curtain of just, all right, what does it look like to be building as a real estate agent while also being a family man? If this is something that you've done before or have kind of adjacent experiences in, I would love any advice that you're willing to offer. So whether that's through a comment or whether that's through getting in touch with me and sharing a message, I would love to soak up any wisdom that you have. But yeah, definitely want to do both things well, and want for my children, as they're adults, I want to set a good example for them, but I also want for them to look back on their childhood and look back on their relationship with me, not with resentment or, feeling like, yeah, dad was never there because he was always out with clients or kind of being the classic workaholic, because it's easy to fall into that, especially when, again, the beauty is there's no boss in a sense, but at the same time, if I'm not showing up, there's also no real safety net here or people for me to pass off extra work to. So it's great though. I really do love what I get to do. This is a dream come true for me to be able to work with so many incredible clients, to be such a vital part of a huge step in people's lives with selling and purchasing real estate. Definitely something that I believe in, part of kind of that classic American dream of owning real estate. And I just love being able to engage with people in those deep levels, engage in the kind of conversations at emotional levels of everything that buying and selling a home entails, being entrusted with financial information. All of it just feels like such a weighty thing that I'm invited in on, and I'm just so humbled and grateful that people would invite me into that part of their life and trust my counsel and guidance throughout the process. And I'm really grateful for the growing number of examples of where that has gone really, really well. I'm grateful to see that the business is continuing to grow, and grateful also to be celebrating 13 years with my wife and seeing our kids growing and maturing and all of the exciting things that are happening on a family level as well. So life is busy, life is full. There are definitely days that are stressful. I feel like my hairline has receded even a little bit further since going out on my own, but I wouldn't change it. I'm very, very grateful for where things are at, and feel very hopeful and optimistic about the future of where we're headed. So thank you for being part of the journey with me. Thanks for the ways that you're engaging. Again, if you got any thoughts or comments or things that you would like to add in, I'd love for there to be more of a conversation between us here. So whether that's through the comments or whether that's getting in touch with me using the links in the description below, I'm here for it. I'm here for you. And do be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so that whenever there is a new entry like this that's posted, or other content that we're getting up on the site, that you are one of the first to know about it. But Thanks, y'all, and look forward to connecting again very soon.